things I'm going to use doing this are my trusty dust mask. It's a cheap N95 with the valve to keep all this dust out of my lungs, because there will be plenty, and my safety glasses. These particular safety glasses are bifocals. I've done this a few times before, and I have a general idea of what I'm after, but you can see on this particular piece of cottonwood that I have a nasty crack here where the branch was sticking out. So what my goal is going to be is somehow to lose as much of, if not all of, that cracking as possible. So I've studied these pictures of previous bowls, and they're going to give me some idea of where on here I can draw this on. Without a doubt, this is the most nerve-wracking part of doing one of these bowls, especially with this gnarly cottonwood. It was a big pain in the butt to turn in the first place, and now that I've got it turned and it looks halfway decent, I'm going to cut this big hole in the side. So what I want to do, after much consideration, is I'm going to draw on to the best of my ability, which is clearly limited, and this is what I want to try to keep. And I want to try to lose all of this. The good news about drawing this on is it's much smoother once I sand it off. About one of the worst things you can use on wood that you want to put a decent finish on is a Sharpie, but in this case I'm going to use this because as I film this I question how well you can actually see my lines. I'll just have to make sure that it gets fully removed, but keep in mind that using a Sharpie, your finish will almost never stick. So again, I'm just working to get rid of most of, if not all, of this cracking. I want to get that out so it doesn't take my bowl apart in the future, and I want to get rid of as much of this as possible so that the yarn, as it's pulled through, does not get stuck in any of these cracks. And hopefully you can see that much better than what you can see the pencil marks. This will smooth out a whole lot better, I promise, once I start sanding and grinding, but for now you get the idea. Next, my trusty drill to give me a good place to start. And that's a good start. I'll grab my micromotor and be right back. For my purposes, I'm using a strong 202 micromotor. This has really proved to be a very good tool for me. It's used more often than I imagined it would be, and I like it so much better than something with a flex shaft. I have so much better control this way. And now I'm gonna have to shut up and put on my face mask. Face mask on. Hopefully you can still hear me. Maybe not over this micromotor, but it's time to get carving. I hope even with my hand in the way, You can get the idea of what I'm doing. Alright, you get the idea. I'll be back in a while. Alright. So I'm all the way through and I'm done with grinding, at least from the outside. So hopefully you can see that I'm done with the grinding, at least from the outside. You can see, I hope, that right along here where my thumbnail is running, right along here, I did not grind all of this wood off, and I did not grind all the way to my Sharpie line, but I will sand that. There's a bunch of sanding involved here now. But I'm ready to move on. My little curly Q is pretty dang strong. It'll be strong enough, but now we need to check the inside and see what it looks like. Alright, so thanks to this very cool tool I got for Christmas. It's a Trent Bosch tool. It fits into your 1-inch post on your tool stand. I can flip this around and I can get a good look at the inside, although I need to move the camera for you. I swung around the tool and the whole bowl so that I could have better light for you. You can see the inside here is sharp compared to the outside. Most of that I'm going to take care of with hand sanding. You can see it's a little rough, and I don't disagree. There are probably better ways to do this. I don't know. Maybe a coping saw if you can, or a different burr on the grinder, or a different kind of grinder altogether. But this is the way I do it, and that's cut out. Now it's just for a whole bunch of hand sanding and I'll be done.